He arrived every morning before the sun even touched the city skyline, his old bicycle creaking softly as if it, too, carried memories heavier than metal. The janitor, Mr. Hale, as everyone called him, never spoke much. He simply unlocked the maintenance store, slipped inside with his faded blue uniform, and disappeared into the quiet hallways of the tall office building. To most people, he was invisible. Another old man pushing a mop, emptying trash bins, fixing flickering lights. But this building was more alive than anyone knew, and the man they ignored knew every corner of it more intimately than the architects who claimed they built it. Every morning, while employees rushed in without a glance, Hole would pause by the main lobby. He would touch the cool marble columns like greeting an old friend, and whisper something only the walls could hear. Some days, when the first rays of sunlight passed through the tall glass facade, he would smile so softly that no one ever noticed. But the young junior manager, Lucas, did. Lucas had only been in the company for 6 months, yet he somehow always crossed paths with the janitor at the lobby around dawn. One morning, curious, he stepped closer and said, "Sir, you're always here before everyone." The old man simply nodded. "Buildings wake up early," he said. Lucas chuckled politely, unsure how to respond, and ran off before his boss could catch him chatting with the janitor, because in this company, appearances mattered, and talking to someone beneath your pay grade was frowned upon. What Lucas didn't know was that not everyone was as polite. Most weren't. In the staff cafeteria, people often made jokes about the janitor's age, his slowness, the way he always seemed lost in thought. "He's like a ghost." One analyst laughed. "I swear I've never heard him say more than 3 words. Maybe he forgot how to talk." Another added, "Should have retired 10 years ago." They didn't know that Hale heard every word. He always did. He just kept cleaning, humming an old melody that drifted through the empty halls long after they left. One rainy evening, after everyone had clocked out, Lucas realized he had forgotten his laptop. When he ran back to the office and took the elevator alone, it stopped unexpectedly at the 12th floor. The doors slid open, and there was Mr. Hale, standing perfectly still in the dim hallway, staring at a wall. It wasn't random. He was staring at a specific point, a thin vertical seam in the wall's paneling. A seam almost no one would notice. Lucas stepped out slowly. "Sir, are you okay?" The old man blinked, as if waking from a deep memory, then placed his palm against the seam. "They ruined it," he whispered. "Who ruined what?" Lucas asked gently. The old man hesitated, then walked away without a word, disappearing into the stairwell. Lucas stood alone in the corridor, confused but unsettled. The next day, rumors spread quickly. The company was planning massive budget cuts, and the first to go would be the janitorial team. "He'll finally retire," someone mocked. "About time." But when the memo officially went out, something strange happened. The CEO scheduled a full building inspection before finalizing layoffs, something he never did. No one cared, except Lucas, who couldn't stop thinking about the old man in the dark hallway. The following morning, he found Hale sitting quietly on a bench outside, holding his bicycle. "Mr. Hale, may I ask you something?" The old man looked up, surprised. "That wall yesterday, why were you touching it?" Hale's tired eyes softened. "It's where the support beam should have been." Lucas frowned. "Should have been?" Hale nodded. "Yes, in the original design, they changed it, and now the structure strains under weight it wasn't meant to carry." Lucas felt a shiver. "Sir, how do you know that?" The old man breathed deeply, as though deciding whether to reveal a secret buried for decades. Then he said quietly, "Because I designed this building." Lucas froze. He tried to process it, but it sounded impossible. "He designed it." Hale nodded with a gentleness that broke Lucas's heart. 42 years ago, before the company replaced me, before the world decided I was too slow, too old-fashioned." Lucas felt something burn in his chest. Shame, disbelief, awe. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" "Because they wouldn't believe me," he whispered, or worse, laugh. That night, Lucas returned to the 12th floor to see it for himself. He inspected the wall, the beams, and the support placement, and his heart dropped. The old man was right. The renovated structure was dangerously unstable. If nothing was done, the building could suffer catastrophic damage. The next morning, Lucas burst into the CEO's office with the inspection photos. "Sir, we have a problem," he said breathlessly. The CEO dismissed him. "This can wait." "It can't." Lucas laid the photos on the table. The CEO went pale. "Who found this?" Lucas swallowed. "The janitor." Silence. Then the CEO stood sharply. "Get him now." But when they searched, Hale wasn't in the building. Not in the maintenance room, not in the cafeteria, not outside with his old bicycle. Hours passed until finally, someone spotted him in the lobby standing alone, looking up at the tall glass ceiling he once designed. The CEO rushed to him, but instead of scolding him or mocking him like everyone expected, the CEO bowed deeply in front of the entire staff. Gasps filled the lobby. People stopped in their tracks. Phones lowered. Conversations died. No one had ever seen the CEO bow to anyone. "Mr. Hale," he said, voice trembling, "I owe you an apology. We all do." The old janitor simply stood still, humbled and confused. "You built more than just a building," the CEO continued. "You protected lives. And you saved us again." The employees who once laughed at him lowered their eyes in shame. For the first time in decades, Hale wasn't invisible. He was seen. Truly seen. The CEO hired him back on the spot not as a janitor, but as a senior structural consultant. A private office, a nameplate, a dignity long overdue. On his first day in the new office, Lucas brought him a folder. Inside was a printed blueprint framed beautifully. "Your original design," Lucas said softly. "They shouldn't have changed it." The old man touched the frame with trembling fingers, tears gathering in his eyes. "Thank you," he whispered, "for remembering me." Lucas smiled. "No, sir, thank you for building something that stood even when people didn't." Months later, when the structural repairs were completed, employees gathered around the lobby to honor him, and when they unveiled a small brass plaque near the entrance, everyone fell silent. "This building stands because of the hands and heart of Mr. Arthur Haylitz, original architect." The old man cried openly. Not from sadness, but from the healing only recognition can bring. And every morning after that, he walked into the lobby, not as a janitor, but as the man who created the very place where they all stood. For the first time in his life, he didn't whisper to the walls, because at last, the world was finally listening.